What's up, guys? Today we're unpacking the much anticipated telescopic dump trailer. We've given little hints of other models. We've had them at shows last year, debuting the 208 Super Single with the telescopic ram. So we're ready to kind of show you guys what we have coming in the next few weeks onto dealers' lots. Behind me now, we have the all-new LP147. This model will replace the existing line of LPs. I'll start at the front, we'll unpack the whole thing. I'll show you some of the features we've done differently, and some of it has just been a complete overhaul aesthetically. Some of it is functionality that we switched up. You can immediately see right at the front, we adopted the same A-frame toolbox that you see on our CT model, the tandem axle and the triple axle cushion tilt. So you have your full reach. Instead of being wasted space, we now have toolbox room. And obviously a large portion of that is taken up with the bigger power pack needed to power that big cylinder. There's also room in here for additional batteries. A lot of models will want a second battery for the power. You can also see the telescopic ram right behind that. That's a 5-inch, 5-stage ram. So that 5-stage keeps it lower, keeps it beneath your tarp kit. So if you're loading with buckets, your risk of hitting your cylinder, busting a cylinder is eliminated. Additionally, on a dealer level, I don't have to remove cylinders to ship. Dealers don't have to install those on the lot on this model. We can install them all. They're packed and ready to go on the trailer itself. You can also see the tarp kit. This is a prototype. They will be slightly different. So it'll come standard with the standard tarp kit that you see on all our dump trailers. We'll have the option of a manual long arm, like you see here, as well as an electric long arm. So stay tuned for those details. We'll be revealing those here in the very near future as well. So this model, again, like I said, it's the LP147. So we still have our 15,400 GVWR. This one weighs in at 4,613 pounds. So we're about 60 pounds lighter than the existing one, which is important to haulers. It's a small number, but it all turns into payload inside the box, right? You can also see we tapered the front. This was kind of to match the angle of the cylinder to make room for everything at the front, but also just maximize capacity inside. So you have a full 14 feet in the bottom of your box. So if you have 14-foot material, it can lay in and you can still close the door. And then at the top, you got about 14.6. To match as well, we angled all our sidewall gussets. These were historically, they had 3 bends in them or 2 bends in them. They were straight up and down. We angled them the same, so it was a little more aesthetically aligned. We also deepened them. We almost doubled the depth of them. It just adds additional rigidity to your sidewall. So these sidewalls are now much stiffer. This bend here is a lot deeper than the existing LPs. Also, another small detail, does nothing structurally, but we changed up the fender design a little bit too. See, the profile is a little bit different. The lip is a little bit different. Lower the teardrop in the middle a little bit. Just again, to be a little more aesthetically pleasing, a little bit more of a modern looking update. This design will carry over onto any other flat decks that have fenders, your equipments, car haulers, etc. At the back, we carried over the same 3-way endgate system as we have in all our other LP models. Again, with a few changes, the gussets are tapered, a little more meat at the bottom just for extra stability. These doors are super rigid. We carried over our latest hinge and latch design as well. So you see on some other brands out there, they may not have anything at the top. So if they only have a hook or latch at the bottom, it leaves the top of the door super flimsy and they don't always align nicely and they can be pushed out, right? So on ours, you can see this is 100% solid. There's no need to have anything additional here keeping them together. We've got a latch and a hook at the bottom and at the top. So when we say a barn door, it's simply as you see, right? The door stops, carried over as well. Little hooks at the back, and she's hooked in, not coming out. To release it, simply lift and close. So that would be feature number 1. Close that back up. Now a spreader gate is essentially the same as you would see on a gravel box. Everybody knows what a spreader gate is. The bottom opens if you're spreading material. So you can spread it out really nice without having to actually open your barn doors. So we'll just go ahead and we'll unlatch that. Got our chains set here to control how far you want your spreader gate to open. You can see I've got them set pretty much to full length. Those are dual acting. We'll show you later what else they do. So spreader gate is just that. We've now unhinged the bottom. You can now dump gravel and soil, other material, spread it out quite nicely. So that's what we would call a spreader gate. We'll latch that back in. Our pins are attached with a nice little cable here, so we're not losing them or sticking them in our pockets. The third function is a tailgate, so we call it a three-way gate, right? So the third one is a tailgate. And to activate that, we'll unpin the top here. Again, the bottom is latched in now. Your barn doors are closed and secured. We'll open those. And now we have a tailgate, right? So if you have material that exceeds the length of your box, this is a 14 feet box at the bottom. If you have 16, 18 foot material, you can now lay that material in, strap it over using the D-rings. You've got an additional box length now. Inside the box, as all the existing LPs and ELPs do, the 14 footers come standard with 4 D-rings. The 16 footers will come standard with 6 D-rings. Ramps are housed in the exact same place. These are out. You can also see this trailer is fairly dusty, a little bit filthy. We've been using it for testing around the yard here, loading, unloading, running it around the back roads here, so it's a little bit dirty. But the ramps would be housed in here, and again, with your pins secured with a little cable lanyard. So one of the benefits of a telescopic ramp, it's a little bit easier to get a bigger lift angle. So on this one, you'll get your full 45-degree lift angle. You also get a lot more shear lifting power at the front of the box. So as I mentioned, this is a 5-stage, 5-inch, takes you right up to your 45-degree load angle. And you can see a space in here for the hoist. So these will come out of the factory fitted for both. At the end of the line, they decide whether they need to weld in the brackets for the hoist or the cylinder, and it gets whichever was ordered. But other than that, the trailers will be identical. Most of the Pro Series model, they will now come either standard with the new tough wireless remote, or it'll be an option on the smaller ones to add on. So a really cool feature we're rolling out here in the next few weeks. High-end, tough, durable wireless remote, much better range, a lot more durable with these little handheld remotes.